But I do know that, with the advancement of technology and everything, people have started right. Hello, Kunal. So I'm Shilpa Aswal. How are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Okay, I'm also doing great. Anything else that you'd like to tell me? How was your day? Though it has just started, but how has it been?
It's going great, I would say, and yeah, I am in that zone right now that I feel like nothing can bother me because I've become that conscious person who does not take everything so seriously when it comes to uh, being in a difficult situation. So I think that
That's a great approach. That's how it should be. You shouldn't let other things bother you, affect you so easily. So that's a great approach. All right. Okay. So I'm sure you must have gone through the topic for the day. Did you get any
yes, I went
chance?
through the topic just now. I just looked at the
Do
topic,
you
didn't go through
Hmm.
the whole session document.
Yeah, that's fine. But you know what we're going to be talking about, right?
Absolutely, I know it.
Absolutely. All right. So do you think this topic, actually, this debate makes any sense, or do you find it very ridiculous? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I find it ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It has no conclusion, nothing that can I can gain out of it. So I sometimes, yeah, it's good for a discussion. If someone wants to have a debate, it's good. But when it comes to serious talk, then I don't think it's very important to give attention to that.
I think it's an age-old problem that has remained on unsolved, right? Nobody has been able to solve it. But I'm sure there are many deliberations going on. Scientists or people have been working on it. So I'm sure someday we'll find a solution or an answer. All
Yes,
right.
even
Okay.
I tried thinking about this topic a lot when I get some free time. I have talked with on this topic with a lot of other people, and
Hmm.
everybody has some sort of a logical explanation of which came first. So even I have some logical explanation of which came first. If you
That's
want to
great.
have a talk on this, we can have a talk.
Sure, let's talk about it because I find this topic very interesting. It's fun, actually, right?
Tell me, what do you think of the topic? Like, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
You want a serious answer?
Yes, absolutely. I want both the
Okay.
answers.
So I'll be very honest. I have also done, because I've been a science student, so I've also done some sort of research on it, right? And also, when you're a student, you either ask this question to your teachers or to your friends, or you get asked this question. Very common question, party question, right? So I did my research long time back, and this is my opinion. It may not be scientifically correct. Now, see, all life originates from an egg only. If you know about humans, how humans originate, that also originates from an egg,
Egg.
right?
Yes.
So I feel the egg was always there.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was always there. Now that depends what sort of life form was created out of that egg. Some of them became reptiles, some of them became eggs, sorry, not eggs, birds, some of them became mammals, and so on, so other things, right? So I feel
Okay.
the egg always existed first.
Hmm. Okay.
I could be wrong, but that's my explanation. So
Yes,
what do you think?
even I think something on those lines itself that I what I used to tell that the chicken came first. My explanation was that because I thought that it might have evolved from some other animal, like some reptile or amphibian that you just mentioned. So now that you told that it must be coming from an egg, so now I've started to think that it was the egg that came first.
So that happens, thoughts tend to influence somebody else's thoughts. So that happens.
Like I used to, I got this point from the thing that we everybody learned that we evolved from chimpanzees and monkeys. So I thought that the chicken might have evolved from some other animal. But
Exactly,
yes,
absolutely. Some sort of
so
cell, maybe, right?
yes, from some cell. But now you said that that species which evolved might be coming from an egg. Now I'm thinking that yes, the egg might be the right answer.
So, as I said, this is a dilemma that is never going to be answered or solved, right? We'll continue debating over it. So, tell me,
Yeah.
where did
So
you
the
first?
next question, if the question, if somebody was hearing our conversation, would be, so where did the egg come from? Did it land from midair, from
It's
thin air?
It's a never-ending loop,
Mhm.
right? This and that,
Yes,
that and this, right? Okay,
yes,
so
and
I think you've already told me what do you think to be true. You believe that egg must have come first, right?
yes.
All right, great. So, but why do you think so? Now, don't tell me because I said so and I've sort of influenced. Like, give me any sort of explanation.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be logical because obviously the entire debate is also not very logical, frankly speaking.
I have changed my mind once again because some other thing came in my mind right now that
Mhm.
you might start laughing at me because I'm changing my mind so rapidly. But I've heard somewhere that the first instance of life that was on this planet was water life, and it was fish and aquatic life. So they
Hmm.
must have laid eggs, and then the process went on. So now I'm feeling that the animal came first rather than the egg.
Of course, the source has to be there, right?
Is
Yes.
there's a source in the Hindu scriptures that the first species that were on this planet was aquatic life and fish
Hmm.
and all the other things that live in the water. So I think the animal was first present and then the egg came.
So I'm going to stick to my point and you stick to yours, right?
Absolutely. Okay.
So yours is a proposition. That means you're proposing that the creature came first, or in this case, the chicken came first. And of course, I'm going to oppose you. So I'll stick to my point. The egg came first.
Then
Okay?
only we can have a discussion.
Only then, exactly. Otherwise, if we both agree with each other, there is no discussion, right?
Mm.
Yes. All right. So tell me a story. Frame a story to prove your point. Could be
I
very
just
brief
told
story.
I just
Hmm.
told you the story, right? Like in the scripture.
No,
Huh?
but you said you've read that somewhere.
Yes, I read
So
that
that,
somewhere.
hmm. So that is your story. You don't want to frame a new one.
If I had to frame, then it would be faking it, right? I would be lying. I would have to frame something.
So lie. That's completely fine.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay, then I would say that my great grandfather saw a reptile evolving into a chicken. From that
Hmm.
time itself, the chicken was laying eggs, and after that, it became a whole debate after that. But the real people who saw it, and I can trust my great grandfather, so that's why I want to say that the chicken came first.
Sort of makes sense, but I'm not going to.
Sort of makes sense.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay. All right.
you come up with a story
So
now.
I tell you a story.
Yes.
So I was taking a stroll by a beach and I came across this very shiny thing, round, small, shiny thing, right? Okay. I picked it up and I took it home thinking that it was some pebble, sea pebble or sea glass, right? So I have this habit of putting all these things on display. I like collecting shells or stones. So I took it home thinking that it was a
A
pebble.
pebble. Okay.
But after a few days, it hatched into a chicken. And that
Okay.
is why I think that, eggs came first. That's my story.
But don't you think somebody laid that egg over there before you arrived?
I only believe what I see.
Okay.
I didn't see any creature laying that egg, so egg it is for
Okay.
me.
Okay. Okay.
Right? All right. So, how do you think the first human would have reacted when he or she came across this egg?
Mm.
You know how early humans reacted when they first discovered fire, right?
Uh, I guess how they would have reacted, they must be very perplexed, amused, find that okay, when I hit a stone with another stone, a fire is able to see, and this is something that I cannot describe. What should we name it? So they didn't have, first of all, they won't have any name for it because it was a new invention altogether, right? So first of all, they would be very scared of it because whenever we see a new invention on the earth, we become scared of it. So, but I think first reaction would be that they would become very scared. But later on, as time progressed and somebody found some use cases of that fire, uh, so they would become more comfortable with it. They would find it easier to use that particular thing rather than be scared of it. I think that would be the whole thought process and the whole thing that went on.
So they were quite amused at the new discovery, right? Not
Yes,
invention, but discovery.
discovery. Yes.
Discovery, right? Because invent, we make it. Discovery, it always existed. Again, discovering an
Yes,
egg was
absolutely.
a discovery,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. So, why do you think this argument is even important? Like, jokes aside, why do you think such arguments or this particular argument is important? Is crucial? What role does it play?
Apart from the fact that it helps to give some topic for some small talk, I think that people are very curious to know the origination of everything that is existent on this planet right now. And when it comes to, as you asked that what is important from this topic, I don't think, my personal view is that I don't find any, importance out of this topic. Yes, if you find any importance, you should share it with
I think debating is really very important for our own growth. If we do not debate, if we do not question things, so for instance, if nobody questioned that why do we have government, right? Why do we have politicians? Why do
me.
we get to elect our president or prime minister? So if we didn't question, if we never questioned, I don't think we would have progressed. So debates, the main point of debates, it could be on any topic,
Mm.
is to work on this particular thing. If we do not question, we are not going to evolve.
Yes, it's
So that
for
is
the
my
it
hmm.
is for the well-being of the human society and people living in society, for so that they can have a healthy discussion and so that people can become more educated and more mature, I would say.
Exactly, healthy discussion. Very good. That's the point I was trying to put across. Right? So healthy discussion is which is important. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. So, how do you think you'll be able to solve this conundrum? We've already discussed that it's an age-old dilemma and, there is no solution. But let's just say that you were being paid, let's say, 1 crore, and
Mhm.
somebody told you have to find a solution to this conundrum. What would you say? Or
What would I say, or what
how
would
would
I
you
get?
want it?
I would hire a scientist who would do the research for me and get them prepare a report so that I can come to a valid conclusion which nobody else can, you know, argue argue further. I will hire the best scientists and will give them a proposition that you keep the 40%, I'll give the 60% after we are finished explaining the other people.
40 and 60, that's not bad.
Huh?
40 and 60, that's not a bad deal. But you would be losing too much.
I would be
Losing too much. 40% gone.
okay. So if yeah, but I am hiring the best scientist, right? So if
Hmm.
nobody can argue with the best scientist, if I hired Albert Einstein, nobody would say that my IQ is better than Albert Einstein's. So they would eventually agree with the person because they would not they would not question the report that is brought out there. They would question the IQ of that person.
Hmm.
They would see that this IQ, this guy has a higher IQ than me, so we should, respect their report or respect their conclusion, something of that sort.
And of
If they
course,
bargain, if the scientists bargain with me, I would say 50-50.
Albert Einstein also won't work for just some pennies, no? So you will have to share your 40% with him.
You have
All
to
right.
because otherwise they won't feel their skin in the thing that you are doing. They won't have any incentive.
Hmm. Right. True. But then let's say you are the scientist.
Okay. Okay.
Now what?
Yeah, in the same case, I would hire the best scientist and do the same process once again.